So happy to be over here in Guadalajara. And also, I'm over here in Stentech. It's not the first time that I'm over here in this facility. It's huge. But today I have a special guest, Brent. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing better.
Yeah, welcome.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I had a brief conversation with Julio,
Mhm.
and Julio told me, hey, you have to come over here and talk with Brent.
Mhm.
Because I know you have new technologies.
Yes.
Also, I had the pleasure to talk with Sergio
Mhm.
in SMTA Guadalajara about the blueprint,
Yes.
which is interesting. But, Brent, I'm very interested to know more about Stentech,
Mhm.
globally talking. Because
Sure.
I know you are managing this part for NAFTA is Canada, the US, and Mexico.
That's correct.
How is it?
It's great. I mean, our focus has been to enhance the manufacturing ability of North America and
Yeah.
try to bring more manufacturing back to North America.
Yeah.
Right. All of the neighboring countries to the U.S. Obviously, we're based in the U.S., but Mexico is a huge platform for us. Canada as well, and really our focus is to be a problem solver for
Yeah.
our customers, the EMS market and also the OEM market.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Brent, how is all the scalability that you
Mhm.
had to pass? Because I know you had this upgrade the last 5 years,
Yeah.
probably, at creating this facility again.
Mhm.
So how is it? Because
Yeah,
it's changing.
Yeah, it is. So we had to, basically, Stentech's a 25-year-old company,
Yep.
and started in Canada and then moved into the U.S. And then in February of 2020, we moved into Mexico. Most of that through acquisition, but our really always our program was to enhance, right, and be problem solvers and have the capability to go and see our customer, listen to what they're doing, where they're struggling, what
Yeah.
they're struggling with, and go back and actually have the resource to start implementing solutions, right? So we look for the top 3 problems in the
Sure.
SMT marketplace, and then we basically go and develop solutions. And the company was really overall
Yep.
built on through acquisition, but tying it together, right? It's not acquiring equipment and things like that. Most of it we replace with the latest and greatest, but it's about the people, right? Finding the talent in the marketplace and then enhancing that with equipment and things and training.
Okay,
So,
hold on.
yeah.
How you do to find out the right personas, to put them in the stakeholders in the right positions
Yeah.
and have the results that you are expecting for? Because I think everything is about people.
Yes.
Create
It's all about people.
all the network
Yes.
is huge. It's very
Yes.
important because you can have the best technology.
Yes.
As all the companies probably in the market, right?
Mhm.
But if you have the right personas,
Mhm.
is very challenging.
It's
How do
very
you do it?
challenging. Yeah. Well, this is my 40th year in electronic manufacturing, and so I've seen a lot of people come and go, and I've tried to just really grab top performers. But that isn't everything, right? You really need to find people that have a heart, that are
Yes.
very interested in the business. They want to achieve greater goals. I can teach anything, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have the ability to teach you how to do whatever, but it's the drive inside and finding those people. And once you get a group, it attracts others, right? And we promote from within. All of our managers, all of those have risen from inside of the company, right?
Yeah.
We don't just go and get people from the outside.
Exactly.
So it's a process of elimination, right? Getting the group, getting the right people on the bus, getting the wrong people off. They'll usually naturally leave because it's just harder. It's a different environment.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud of our people in all countries.
Wonderful.
That's what makes us successful.
Wonderful. You know what I heard the other day? That it's better to find out the soft skills and train the hard skills.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you have people with heart, you can train the other thing.
You can train
So,
everything. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to see all the facility.
Mhm.
I know you have stencils manufacturing
Mhm.
right here,
Mhm.
and you have tooling, you
Yes.
have several other things.
Yeah.
So I would like to tell you, what if you invite me?
Let's go. Let's go see it. Yeah.
So thanks for inviting me.
Sure.
I think I spent several years over here, being honest,
Yeah.
but always it's good, to come back and see how you have grown
Mm-hmm.
this area of stencils manufacturing. So you have a lot of machinery right here, Brent.
Yeah. So this is the latest laser that we purchased and brought into Mexico. It's actually the first LPKF. LPKF is known as the higher end laser. Although tantalins are good, they're both great partners to us. But we wanted to make sure that our brand was consistent across Canada, US, and Mexico.
Yeah.
And Mexico just hasn't, in the past, it hasn't had the same equipment level. And so it was important for us to not just upgrade the equipment and bring in the best that's available
Yeah.
on the marketplace, but then also bring in the enhancements that we've been working on for years in the US, and make sure that the EMS market in Mexico can take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what is great? Because I like this part that this overview, general overview of that you have to keep investing
Yes.
new machinery in the high end
Yes.
acquisition that we can have, but also this part of comparing, because if you go to the market, you can see the deliverable, of the competitor, but also you can see, if you go to the facility, you can see how you are competing
Mhm.
with different things that probably you can see in the shop floor. Because in the shop floor, you just see an stencil, probably the results.
Yes.
But if you see what is the supply chain, what is the process for manufacturing,
Yes.
you will see that it's a lot of people well prepared, and also the best equipment that
Yes.
you can have to produce it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we talked about before with the people, that's if you can combine, right, the best technologies with
Right.
people with heart and drive that want to be the best, right? It's no different than being on a soccer team or a football team or whatever. You want to be the best. We're competitors.
Totally.
And so it's my job to make sure that we keep going forward, right? And driving the technology. To be in the stencil business and say, I have a laser. I have the best laser. Only gets you to one part of it, right?
Yeah.
And then what's next? And the problems of the miniaturization of components and circuit boards and all of that drives problems. So it's our job to go in the marketplace, listen to the customer. What is the problem? And then have the wherewithal to come back and actually solve it and bring solutions to your customers. That's what makes you valuable and allows you to grow.
I like this part, and I'm gonna go talk more about it, because it's more about offer value
Yes.
to the customer and create a partnership.
Yes.
Far from you are my customer, I'm selling you something, a result, a developable, a tooling. It's more about solutions.
Yes.
It's more about consulting.
Yes.
Because your sales guy could go and understand what is the problem, and probably say, hey, maybe you are not looking for just a tooling. You are looking for a new technology.
Yes.
You are looking for a new kind of coding, could
Yes.
be,
Yes.
or kind of different things. We know that the 80% of the errors in SMT occurs in the printing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to pay attention to what's going on with the first contact that the PCB has with the tooling, and that is the stencil.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the technologies that you have, guys.
So laser cutting stencils, I mean, it all comes down to area ratios as things get smaller. So really anything below about a 0.6 area ratio, people start struggling to meet IPC standards or UL standards. They can't get enough paste, right, to the substrate. And it's all about friction, right? How much paste can you push through? And then as you release it, what is there more friction in the aperture, the walls holding that paste, or is there more friction on the surface of the board
Sure.
that releases? So we started thinking about, well, how can we reduce the friction, the surface tension on the stencil? And we thought about Teflon. We looked at Teflon. We looked at a lot of different things. And we started playing around about 7 years ago with polymer coatings. And we developed some hydrophobic, oleophobic coatings that we could spray on and get it inside the aperture. There's already, some monolayer wipe-ons and things that help with surface, but nothing with the apertures. So we developed a coating, advanced nano, that we use today. We coat about 30% of what we cut. We cut about 60,000 stencils a year in North America. So, and we coat those, but then it has limitations as well, right? The aspect ratio of that aperture, and we're spraying. So no matter what, you're always going to have a taper inside the aperture. And we said, how do we solve that? And we started looking at some different technologies, and ion sputtering and vapor deposition was one that we said that may be able to get us there. And so we started trialing and working with a team to build the equipment for stencils. And we did something similar on the semiconductor side.
Sure.
And so we said, yeah, I think we can do this. And we did. It took a year or so to develop the equipment, get it in place, do a lot of testing. And the real difference is the polymer coatings that we apply today are about 3 to 5 microns on the surface. And then again, it's tapered in the aperture. And it varies because if you have a 0.5 area ratio versus a 0.12, it's a big difference, right? And so the taper, does it get all the way down to the bottom of the aperture and all of that? Plus, it's 3 to 5 microns. It's not a true nanotechnology. The vapor deposition, we're putting it on at 200 nanometers, right? So it's 1,000 times thinner than the current best coatings in the marketplace. But the consistency is the difference. So the surface thickness, the thickness at the knee and at the very bottom of the aperture is exactly the same, right? So, and the material that we're using was originally sputtered onto downhole drilling, right? So we figured, hey, it's pretty robust. This is drilling to the center of the earth, right? And so it's about 9 times harder than Teflon. It's very robust. And so the longevity, and the other thing that I like is even on the polymer coatings, when we do have a failure, and trust me, we've had a lot of trials and errors, right? But when we have a failure, there's a process, right? It's a weight gain and how much material are we spraying at what rate, and then the curing and all of that. And when we have a manufacturing defect, usually it's coming back to the process, right? So controlling that process. Vapor deposition is a completely enclosed automatic process. It's under vacuum at high temperature. So even if there's some contaminant on the surface, it burns off. We do a burn off. We can do, there's a lot of flexibility to prep the stencil before we actually coat it.
Exactly. It's a whole word. And you know what I'm enjoying about this conversation, amigo, is that you need to have in the stakeholders in the right positions.
Yes.
People with the passion to do it, to innovate, to continue with the, helping customer or creating new technologies. And I see you're very passionate about it, which is great.
Yeah.
And also you have a great management for this company through the 3 different countries, right?
100%.
So I think it's really good. I know you have other verticals for this business.
Yes.
Which is tooling. So you offer a whole solution or environment of solutions.
Yes.
Talking about SMT and also the part of PCBA, right?
Yes.
To keep assembling or support all the process through the line. So
from A to B, right? We want to be in the front end of the process. We want to be in the back end of the process, but we want to continue to innovate. And so this is kind of a sneak preview of what's coming, right? Beginning of next, I would say second quarter of this year, we'll be launching a coating for pallets that's very similar to Blueprint, right? For conformal coating pallets and reflow or whatever. So one of the big problems is there's a lot of taping, capped on taping and all of this in today's environment. And then when you spray a conformal coating in a pallet, it gets on the pallet as well. So you'll see in a lot of our customers, and I've seen rows of people that are cleaning and trying to remove the conformal coating from the pallet.
For sure.
We have a coating that we're launching that nothing will stick to it. Conformal coating will just roll off of it.
Right.
It will eliminate and allow those people that are doing that job to go do something else that's more productive, and will eliminate another problem in the industry. But again, I really believe it's the people that we have, because some of the innovation that we drive out of this company doesn't come from me or others. It comes from the people that work here.
Yeah.
What about this? What about this? My job is really to say, I like the idea. I see a need in the industry, right? Tie those two together and then invest the money. And that's probably the harder part, is because does this realize, go and spend $500,000 and hope that this is a solution that works, right? That's the hard part. And I've won and lost on those.
Yeah.
But when you're successful and you see the pride in the people about what they developed in conjunction with the rest of the team, and then we launch it and our customers are appreciative. I mean, that's what keeps you passionate.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about it. Amigo, the last part, I would like to see your shop floor.
Let's go see it.
And to finish this conversation. And the last part.
Yes.
I didn't want to miss the opportunity to record over here in the shop floor.
Of course. Yeah, no, and welcome. As you can see, we have a substantial amount of equipment here in this facility and across all of Mexico. So, we've placed about 15 CNCs since we've acquired Acumen.
Jeez.
And we have about 35 CNCs in the network in Mexico. And then we have another 20 or so in the States.
Yeah.
And, again, listening to the needs, right? When I talk to the production teams here, which we have a great team overall, and what do we need to do? And a lot of it comes down to resource, right? It's not the heart, it's not the effort that they're putting in, but having the tools that work, right? Give them the ability to deliver to the customer what it is that the customer is needing. Not just the turn times, but the quality and the technical side of the business. Yeah.
What is challenging, amigo, to have the whole environment? I know it's a great advantage against the competitor, could be.
Sure.
And also it's a great offer for the customer. But you should have some challenges to manage all of this. You have design, you have some kind of consulting, you have Stencils, you have research and development with new technologies, and also you have a huge shop floor for CNCs to manufacture toolings. What a challenge.
So the challenge has been in the past, really data, right?
Okay.
Having data that gives you guidance on, are you going the right direction? And so, for years and years, we just, it was a lot of effort, but not a lot of resource. We brought on a partner, an investment partner that really helped us with that. Aligned Capital Partners really helped us with not just the capital resource, but building the team and giving us guidance on things that were very important. Today we have more data than I've ever had in my entire career, right? And the data actually does tell us very quickly whether or not we're going the right direction or not. So spending a lot of time, I mean, in my past, I've spent a year and then turn around and say it's wasted because I didn't know the indicators, or I didn't see the indicators fast enough that I wasn't going in the right direction, that it wasn't resonating with customers and getting traction. Now I know that right away. So we use multiple EMS, or not EMS, CRMs.
Yes.
We use all of the systems that we have, Power BI and things that we've brought on. We've professionalized this business, and not just a tooling shop or a stencil shop, right? So IT, HR, things that enhance the environment for our employees, that want them, that hey, this is a place that cares about me and they're giving me all the resources that I need. I just have to put in the time. I have to put in the effort. That's all they're asking for me.
So, you know what I'm getting is that for the pioneer,
Yeah.
there is not a way well defined. You know, you have
Yeah.
to define what is the way to go forward.
Yes.
And keep, helping customers or continue offering value and keep handling, all the technologies, all the offers, all the challenging. So it's interesting how you handle everything, amigo. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not me, right? My greatest privilege really has been able to work with the people here in Mexico and US and Canada. We have a great team. I'm just part of that team, and whether I'm the leader of the team or not, I know that the resources that I have in human capital is unbelievable. And that's really what puts us above. It's not the equipment. It's not the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's these guys driving every day to be better. And that's all we ask, right? Let's go solve problems for who is our customer. That is our focus, right? And we have goals. Everybody has a responsibility to that goal. Just do your responsibility. We all pull together as a team. There's really nothing we can do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Amigo, I think for this part for today, it's enough. I have too much things to think about it. I have other conversations pending,
Yes.
Gonna be with Julio.
Yes.
I know you have in Mexico a new commercial director,
Yes.
which is great.
Yes.
It's a new direction that you're trying to follow. But I think that is a conversation that I'm gonna have with Julio. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And a little bit about Marco. So Marco has been in operations for a while. And so tying operations and sales together is very important. Sales guys, I love them, right? And I sell a lot myself. And we tend to want to overachieve in our pitch. And then it's got to hit reality when it comes back. So to be honest with customers up front, what are our current capabilities? Can we solve that problem? Can we do it in the lead time that you want? Tying operations and sales together is very important, and I'm really proud of Marco, who's done a fantastic job for us on the operation side. I can't wait to see what he's going to do on the sales side.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I hope to have this conversation as soon as possible.
Yeah,
and let's do it, amigo. I really appreciate your time to have me over here through all the facility, and I think that won't be the last time that we see each other.
For sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Amigo,
Can't wait for the next one.
Thank you very much.
All right, see ya.